Hey everyone, welcome to Workshop Wednesday. Today is the 27th of April, 2022, and this is week two of what I've set out on. Now, I don't suppose you guys are wondering, but if you are, you're probably thinking, you know, but the premiere of week one was on the 27th, so what's happening? Why is week two in the following week? Quite simply put, it's the reason for that is time. It's time. What that means is that a lot of time gets put into the making, but also the editing of these things. So what I like to do is record it, and then throughout the week do the editing process, and then sending it out. And there's a good reason for that. It's because I don't have that much time to do this kind of thing. So what I'm trying to do is trying to set it out. So everything that you see will be a week in arrears, but the purpose still stands, where you'll see every week going. And I hope you guys enjoyed the first premiere. If you didn't, it is what it is. But hopefully it gives you an idea of the thought process of what goes on. And I just thought before really getting into the stuff that we're going to do today, I thought I'd show you guys just a simple section of what I do. The like I said, the editing process. I'll show you what week one looks like in the backstage, um, just so that you can see everything, how it all fits together. So I hope you enjoy that part, and then after that we will get back to our regular programming, where we will now set up the rhythm and the tempo for what we're going to do. Today, I think we'll also set the percussion, uh, the acoustic percussion for this song. Look, the last part, the rocking part, will probably happen last when it comes to the audio stuff. So we're just setting up the acoustic rhythm. So, and if we have time today, because it is a public holiday, I might start practicing the acoustic guitar riff for I See Fire, which can probably serve to be quite a challenge. But you know, I guess today or this week is about triumphing over challenges, and I hope you get something from it, and let it be an inspiration to any content creators that want to do something like this. So with that being said, let's go to the editing process of one of these episodes.
Okay, so just quickly and briefly, this is basically the editing platform that I use for videos and audio, and this will probably be the editing software that I use to do the final product. So as you can see over here, there is a lot of editing that goes into something like this, um, just to give you an idea, and it's not only it's not only just plucking the video over there when it starts, because of the, I guess, the quality of the phone. Everything is zoomed in, so I have to do a lot of um, editing to the picture as well. Not a lot, as minimum as possible, such as I bring it down to half a scale. And because I'm using the front part of my cell phone, the picture is flipped, so I have to do a horizontal flip as well. If I don't do the horizontal flip, it looks like this. Reset. It's not going to show. Why not? Let's see what happens if I move it here. No, it's not going to show. Okay, if I take the effect off, that's how I see it on the video, which is not cool. So I put it back, and then everything is as it should be. So at this point, what I do now is I now export it to a media format, and then I'm going to put it on YouTube and set it as a premiere to 7 p.m. So this is the whole thing that I have to do, and you can see that I do a lot of cutting because there are certain things that I do that I think, is it really that important? Because as you can see, it's already near half an hour, and with certain people, they can't really concentrate as long as that. I mean, they lose interest like even in half the time. So I don't want to have you guys lose interest, but a lot of the stuff that I put on here I think is important, but that's totally up to you to decide. So this is like I said, this is the editing process, and now the next thing that we're going to do is start laying down. So I'm going to now move from the office side to my studio, but before that I have to let this thing save and then send it on YouTube, and then after that we're going to do the recording and all of that part, or try and set up something that we can record quite nicely. So with that being said, see you in the next part.
All right, so we are now back in the studio, just setting up everything for the first part. I thought it would be a good idea to give you an idea of the first thing that I think would be a good idea to do, and then also give you an idea of the equipment that I'm going to use as well, to make it a bit easier. Right, so I would say that the first thing that we should establish is, what do we start out with? And there are a few different things that you can do, in order to start this. I think the first thing that recording studios usually do is they start with the rhythm section. They start with the drums, which is a great idea if the people that come into the studio know the format, know how they want to manage the song in the sense of verses and choruses and the like. For my instance though, it's basically going to be the same as the Ed Sheeran song. So the one thing that I'm probably going to have to do is in my DAW, or digital audio workstation, for those who don't know what DAW stands for, is to establish the tempo first, okay, and then put it to a click track, and then work out the different pieces. Now I want to try and perhaps get it to the same tempo as the Ed Sheeran version, for the sole purpose of ease, because then what I will do then is during that click track I'll follow the different formats. So then what will happen is I'll see where the verses are, where the choruses are, and all of that, to establish a format of the song. Then past that I'll take I won't look at the backing track, and then I will then add in the percussion. Now when it comes to the percussion part, I'm going to have a look around the studio and see if there's anything that we're going to use. Remember that it's going to be a nice percussive part, but we want something that's what can I say? It's not going to be the conventional drums. It's going to be stuff that's either made or maybe even something that's local. I have a few things over here that I want to give a try, because remember we're doing more percussive, more acoustic for the first maybe 3/4 of the song. and then moving on to the kit. Now, with regards to the recording equipment, specifically the microphone, I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible and simple as possible. Now, I don't want to try and sacrifice too much on the quality of the sound, but this is also with understanding that this is not a professional recording studio. There's only so much that I can do in that instance. So when you hear the end product, it might not be as studio quality as or your industry standard, but hopefully it'll give you an idea of what you can do with the limited resources that one gets. Unfortunately, you can't just do it for free, in the sense of have no microphone and all of that. So the first thing that you actually need is a sound source, and that's what we spoke about: the percussion, the acoustic, the bass. Those are your sound sources. The vocals would be your sound source. Second thing that you need is a microphone, because you need to pick the sound source up with something. Now, the microphone for acoustic guitars can also be a pickup, but I think the sound quality will diminish with the piezo pickup, because of the fact that it's a very twangy type of sound. I might use it to offset some of the other things, maybe get a dual sound, but you want the tonal quality of the acoustic guitar, and a microphone will pick that up. So most of the stuff, not all of it, will be picked up by the microphone, with the exception of the electric guitar, the bass guitar, and, believe it or not, the drum kits. I use an electronic drum kit, so the luxury or the whole thing behind miking up a drum kit doesn't really work, and unfortunately it's one of those things that it takes time to mic up a drum kit, so we're not going to do that. It's going to be an electronic drum kit, which I have, and I'll go through the gear as well as we doing it step by step through the week, so you can see what I'm working with. But I think one of the things that I do want to show you is the microphone, and I'm going to try and only limit it to one microphone, which we will use for picking up the percussion part, the acoustic, and the vocals as well. It's a new mic that I picked up a few days ago, so I want to put it through its paces, and I think what I'll do now is I'll show you what it looks like. So with that being said, let's go through the prime equipment that we'll be going to use for the vocals, the acoustic, and the percussive part of this journey. Right, guys, so the microphone that I was talking about that we're going to be using throughout this thing is called a Samson CO1U Pro. Now, this is a thick diaphragm condenser, which means that its purpose is to pick up vocals and other instruments from its primary source, which is quite nice. Now you'll see that it's also attached to a shock mount, which makes it easier to basically, if something bumps it, you won't hear much of it. Now, I have 3 other Samson condenser mics similar to this one. What makes this one special, though, is the fact that it is a USB microphone. So the nice thing about this, and the advantage, is that I don't need to lug out my gigantic audio interface in order to do the recording. All I have to do is plug and play, which means I plug it via USB and arm it through my DAW, and all I have to do is record, and then it will take it from there. So it's going to make the timing and a lot of the schlep that comes with setting things up a bit easier, because when it comes to my acoustic, and vocals and the other percussion things that we're going to do, to make it a little bit easier for us to work on that. So this is the primary microphone that we will be using during this time. Hey guys, so you saw the equipment. This is what we're going to use, and then also I think that we'll take it from there when it comes to recording the part. The recording parts, I'm not gonna give you the audio, so as I'm showing you what I'm trying to do, and it'll also be a time-lapsed video, because I want to leave the final product for you guys to see at the end. And I also have an idea of what I want to do for the music video side of it, so hopefully it'll work out quite well, who knows. Alright, but before we do that, I thought I'd mention, one or two things. I think during this journey it will be a good idea if I share one or two things, maybe personal stories, to assist some of you that want to do things like this, like create content. Just a background story for me when it comes to content. I am classified more as a noob when it comes to visuals, specifically because I don't have all those nice things like the lights here and lights there, and when it comes to audio visual, I'm more on the side of the audio than the visual. So things like put in the dark, I'll tell you what, the light that you see over here is not sunlight, so I can guarantee you that. As you can see, my studio is in a garage. What I can tell you is that the only lighting that you'll see over here is the fluorescent light up above. So that's all I really have when it comes to the visual recording. That's why I think something like this, like a journey, can probably teach some of you what you can do with what you have, like fluorescent lights and all of that. And then, as they say, or as a wise man once said, you don't only learn from people what you should do, but what you should not do. So if you find that some of the stuff that you see over there is not exactly the most kosher of everything, then I encourage you to learn from my mistakes, as well as I'm going to learn from my mistakes throughout this whole thing. Recording, documenting what's happening over here. So background is that this is, I'm a content creator, but it's more of a hobby for me. I don't get any money from this. I wish I did, because then I would definitely make this as my primary source of income, in the sense of making money, and then my prime passions would be more pro bono, if I can call it that. My passion is teaching, in multiple facets. Teaching people music, teaching people in classes. I tend to gravitate myself more to teaching people, and any person, not just children, but my peers and everything, to be better than they are. And that's my main passion, is to see people become better, not only than themselves, but better than me, actually. I'm not perfect at all, but I'd like to try and make people more perfect or more better than me, if that makes sense. And then my side hobby hustle would be recording, creating content. I stream stuff, stream games, mostly WWE 2K19, but then other stuff as well. I've been trying to put content together for music lessons, so that if anybody wants to learn music, then it's something that they can look at, put online lessons in effect, basically, but also put content over there that whoever learns from me can learn from me, like that, which is still in the drawing boards at the moment. There are a lot of things on the drawing boards for me, which I hope is going to bear fruit. Like, as you can see, the main title of this, and you'll see it at the bottom over here if you're watching YouTube, is Homefront. It's an initiative that I'm trying to to start up, which will hopefully bear fruit. And I won't go into it in this, into this video, but it's something that you should watch out for, because I'm hoping that things will start, gathering traction. So that's basically what I do, and then my side hustle takes up, a lot of my other time, the content creating part of the side hustle. But like I said, I don't make money from this. And people have asked me, why do I do it? How do I do it? I don't know how I do it. I don't know where I get the energy from. God, perhaps. Empowers me through His Holy Spirit. But I think the reason why I do it is because I want to do it. There's no cryptic clues in that. I want to do it. It brings me joy, it brings me passion. And I think there needs to be a counterbalance to anything that one does that feels like work. You need a counterbalance of something that you can do that'll bring you joy. Anyway, having said that, this journey is something that I've been thinking of doing for a while. I didn't know in what essence I wanted to do it in. I just happened to drive one day and think, you know what, I would like to do a song, like an Ed Sheeran song, and it happened to be I See Fire. That's the background of everything that I wanted to speak to you guys about. So hopefully it's giving you some idea, pulling back the curtain so you can see, what's happening, and throughout the weeks you'll hear more about me. Right, so as I said, we're going to be looking for some items that we can use for the percussion part. Now, I do remember that I do have some percussion instruments lying around, because I'm a drummer. You need some things like that. So I do remember my mom gave me one of these. Okay, so I'm thinking I might that'll be a nice thing for maybe the clicking part. We might use that. And then we have a rainmaker over here, but unfortunately this rainmaker sounds strange. It sounds like it just goes down. I'm going to use it as a shaker. I might not use this other one over here. I might just use this. Okay, so we got perhaps two things that we can use for this instance. The shaker, and then maybe I might use this. So let's see how that works. I might have to multi-track it, where one will be this one and the other one will be the shaker. But we'll take it from there. Hopefully something will come up with it. Here's another idea that I can use. I can use one of these drum mallets, broken drum mallets, and take one of the cymbals and maybe use that as almost like a fill type thing. So some ideas that I'm going to work on, and we'll see what transpires with this. Okay, so this is the current end result of the studio. You can see that there's the garage door. Here's the kit. We'll go through what the kit is and what I use. As you can see, there's some Q20 over there. Always have a can of Q20 lying around. It really helps. So, and you can see, look around, there's the desk, there's the microphone that we're talking about, and some extra equipment lying around over there. It's a little bit on the disorganized side, for the reason that I'm going to show you now. And on this side, you'll see the guitars, my preciouses, and then the amps on that side. All right. Now, the reason why everything is a little bit disorganized, you can see a few amps and cases over there, is for this reason right here. Now, you'll see that the mat that I use is sort of one of those mats that you get at the Chinese shop for now. One day I'm thinking of adding proper mats over here, but that will come with time. Now, you can see that I pulled the mat away. Now, the reason why is that I have a bit of an issue in the studio. And the studio lies in that corner and the door over there. And on the other side where the other room is. Now, what's happening is that when heavy rainfall hits, there's a leak on the side over there. But not just a leak, it looks like that it's pouring. And unfortunately, water pours right through here. Now, if you did not know this, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Water and electricity do not mix. Luckily, I don't have any electrical components on the floor besides the amps and maybe an electric cable, like an extension cord over there. Most of my electronic stuff have been either been elevated or are in bags, so it takes them over there. But this is a challenge. One of those challenges that I've been speaking about. Now, you can decide. You can either give up or you can find a way around it. So hopefully within the month, I will be able to get somebody in to plug up the hole outside on the other side, and then this will be a faded memory, and then everything can be sorted out in a nice clean way. So just giving you an idea of just an example of what kind of challenges I have to go through. All right, so before we end this week, I thought I'd share just like I don't even know, it's two things. I just think one thing specifically about triumphing through challenges. As I showed you in this week, you can see that there are certain challenges that I've had to deal with in order to record or put a studio together. It's hectic. Look, it's I can't say it's an easy thing to open up a studio or put a studio together. As you can see, there have been many things that we've had to put into it, and I hope you enjoyed that part. But like triumphing through challenges or persevering through challenges is very important. I think as humans we need to, it's a choice that we make every day. And I don't know where you come from or your background, but I want this to be an encouragement to you that in spite of the challenges that you might find yourself in, I hope this gives you an encouragement and is inspirational to you to press on with what you want to do. Follow your dreams, no matter how many people say that it isn't possible. Look, there are challenges that come with it, and there are things that you need to do to make sure that there's, like I said, food on the table and all of that. But the one thing that I want to encourage you on is don't give up on your dreams, because it will happen. This entire getting equipment and working on it, it didn't come to me on my lap. I'll tell you that much. I started playing music when I was in grade 11. That's a long time ago, 2000, /1999. but more 2000. And from that, it's been a journey. I mean, now it's 2022, so that means that this journey has been 22 years in the making. And it's been a long process. I mean, the equipment that I've got has been a process. Throughout 20 years, I've been gathering instruments, and like people have, like most men like collecting cars or swapping cars, or that's their thing. That's not my thing. My thing is musical instruments. 20 years ago, I knew that my passion was going to be music. It evolved into teaching, which meant that it was teaching music. That was one thing. But I knew that I had to go step by step. And by no means is this the end of this whole journey, because this journey will continue. But I want to encourage you that it is a journey. I want to tell you that it's not something that's going to happen overnight. Practicing, no matter how many times that you see on YouTube that it's going to be a quick thing, it is not a quick thing. You need to learn, you need to persevere. You need to triumph through the challenges that you have. When you're learning scales, the scales is not your thing. It's a challenge for you. You need to triumph over that. It's not a quick thing. You can't do it in 5 lessons. That's the thing. It takes a while. So, and it's a journey. Like I said, it's 20 years in the making. I knew that this was going to be something. I always wanted to have my own studio. And it's taken 20 years to just have an area for the studio. I mean, my studio was a small room that was only 1/8 of the size of this, and I had to make do with it. It was a challenge, and I had to try through it. A lot of times I had to put all my instruments in a cupboard, and in order to get what I needed out, I had to take everything out the room, set everything up, and then when I finished, I had to bring everything in. Now I have the convenience of everything being on hand. Like I said, it's a journey, and you might find yourself at this point where you're starting a journey, or you're starting something, and you think that it's not working because I can't get it right. Let me tell you something. A lot of times it's just like you're not going to get it right. When I started, I couldn't get anything right. I had to start right from the beginning. So my encouragement to you is that all good things come to those who wait. All good things come to those who persevere and triumph over these challenges. So that is my word of encouragement to you for this week, and I hope that you take something from it. So we've done the percussion part. We've done that. You've seen sort of what the studio looks like currently. I just hope that it gives you an idea, it gives you some inspiration for the next stage. So next week we'll probably be practicing the acoustic part, and then try and put a recording down. That might take 2 weeks, but like I said, we're going to persevere. We're going to triumph through this challenge as it goes. So with that being said, I want you to have an amazing evening and take care.